And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful night here in Canfield, Ohio, and we're here at Coca's Pizza, as we always are, on Wednesday nights. Joining us, as always, the head ball coach of the football team, Mr. Mike Pavlansky. Coach, we sat over there last week, and you said the guys we're going to play this week are going to be physical, they're going to be athletic, and they're going to be tough, and you still walk away with a dub. Talk
Yeah,
to me about your team.
my goodness, and Cheney didn't disappoint. They are everything you just said, and but credit our guys. Showed up, played a tremendous ball game, especially on the defensive side, and did enough offensively to walk away with our second win, and something we sorely needed. Felt really good for our guys after that game.
You know, something you said before we went on air is I looked at that game and I thought, man, offense, 35 points, looked really good. Your offense has been challenged all year to put those points on the board. Yeah. And you said, you know what? Not our best offensive night.
No, Explain. It wasn't. The way we grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Our goal is to have 55% consistency on both sides of the football. Friday night, we had 64% defensively, which is outstanding.
Yeah.
Into the 60s, you're probably going to win the football game. Offensively, we struggled a little bit. We were only at 45%. And a lot of that's due to, Cheney and their schemes, number one. And number two, we're still growing up on an offensive basis each week. And then we just got to get better. When you score 35 points, obviously you're going to be happy with that. You win, you're certainly going to be happy. But we got to become a more consistent offensive team.
How do you accomplish that? I mean, you go against one of the best. I mean, I would think one of the more athletic teams you're going to face, biggest teams you're going to face, and you put those points up. Like, how do you say, hey, guys, we need – I mean, I guess a coach always wants more, right?
Yeah, well, tape. You watch tape and point out on tape what was good and what was not so good.
Yeah.
And, right now, defensively, we got a bunch of good plays going on. Offensively, we're still searching for more good plays. And that's going to come through reps in practice, game reps, especially for our young kids playing, for first time, some sophomores and juniors playing for the first time, even some seniors, first-year starters. And, just got to grow up and get experience, underneath the Friday night lights. And hopefully we're better this week.
We got some Benjamin Button going on. It seems like you guys are getting younger as the season gets longer. Challenges about that. I mean, getting these guys, you said, getting their first reps, getting their feet wet, things of that nature. Is it tough to be patient in week 5 when you know there's so much on the line going into week 6 through 10?
Yeah, you got to be patient.
Yeah.
There's not a player that we have that doesn't want to give great effort. There's not a player that we have that wants to make mistakes, so you got to be patient with them and teach them and coach them.
Yeah.
You can only do so much yelling and, then obviously they turn it off. And, like everybody else in the area and around whoever plays football in the state, you're going to be banged up week 5 and going into week 6, we're banged up, but not an excuse not to get better, not an excuse not to show up on Friday night and play as well as you can play.
Is there such a thing as white noise for these kids when it's coaches and they're hearing the same thing and the same tone over and over again?
I think to some certain extent, yeah. So you got to guard against that.
Yeah.
And, you got to be able to go every day and have your goals and then, hopefully accomplish those goals by the time you get off the practice field. And, you're better coming off the field than when you were going on the field. That gives you the best chance on Friday night.
What I've learned in football and really in any sport is there's springboard moments during a season. And I really think that Cheney this last week was a springboard moment for this team. They saw what they could do. They accomplished it. And obviously you got to win out of it as well, which is always nice. Do you see week 5 as a springboard into the second half?
Boy, I hope you're right. There's no doubt about that. It just, our kids, were excited after that ball game, gave a great effort like they always have. And we beat a very good Cheney football team. There's no doubt about that. Seth Antrim, again, is doing a great job over there. By the end of the year, they're going to be a force in Division III, Region 9, like they were last year.
When you look at what your guys did really well, we talk about the defense. What other things did you see that was really not surprising, but really made you proud on Friday night and watching the film on Saturday?
Yeah, I think number one, from a defensive standpoint, we're a very disciplined defensive team.
Yeah.
We weren't caught out of lanes too many times. Secondly, we were a great tackling team, and we're going to have to be a great tackling team again this Friday night. There's going to be times in the game where Dover's going to have us one-on-one with their best athletes. We've got to be able to tackle it. Last week, I thought we did a great job of that with the number of athletes that Cheney has, that when we got to a one-on-one situation, we were able to bring them down.
You talked about Dover. I mean, when you look at what Dover brings to the table, you and I talked about it. It's a mirror image. 2-3, 2-3. A lot of guys, neither team thought that they were going to be 2-3 when if you said halfway through. What do you see in this Dover team that you think maybe you can exploit, maybe you can get you guys pumped up for?
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to exploit it or not. But so much respect for Dan Ift and his program. He's been there for close to 30 years, I believe, if not over 30, and tradition-rich playoff experience. Well coached. Their kids believe in their system offensively and defensively. And for us to be successful, we're going to have to take another jump. This week, especially on the offensive side, of far as moving the football, keeping the football away from them, like we did against West Branch, because Dover is a 5-wide up-tempo team.
You said X's and O's is a lot like West Branch. They like to run the football. Does that? I mean, really, you look at the stats, it goes in your favor, no?
Yeah, we always go into a game, no matter what offense we play, stop the run, make them one-dimensional, try to make them one-dimensional, and even though you're 5 wide. Dover does run the ball 55% of the time out of their 5 wide. We've got to make sure, especially number 7, J.J. Barton, I believe is certainly a 2-year starter, might be a 3-year starter for him. He's an absolute tremendous athlete. And we've got to mark him no matter where he's at, out wide or in the backfield, and shut that run game down, and then try to force them to beat us in the pass game. And they're certainly capable of doing that too.
What do you think needs tweaked at this point in the year? I mean, has there been anything that you really looked at and you're like, man, we just cannot get it, and you work and work and work and needs to kind of like turn it up a little bit?
Nah, I just, again, each week, DJ, you go in, you look at your opponents, and what best fits them that we can do to try and be successful. We've thrown schemes out, absolutely. We've thrown a coverage out, absolutely. But if we get down the road here, last 3 weeks of the season, weeks 8, 9, and 10, if we need that scheme or we need that coverage, we can go to it.
Over the last 6 weeks, there's been a lot of things that you've been able to kind of point and pinpoint. What things have really, I guess, where's the most improvement of this team in 2023?
Just getting better as far as our experience.
Okay.
Our experience has allowed us to grow up. Forget about the record. We're a much better football team sitting in week 6 than we were week 1. And, that excites us because our kids come to practice every day. They come to films every morning at 7:15, and they want to get better. The effort's there. The attention to detail is there. So that excites us.
You talked about Dover being tradition rich. Obviously, Canfield, very tradition rich. What are some of the traditions that you love the most about this program, this school?
Canfield?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Playing on Bob Dove Field every Friday night when you're home there's nothing like it. We get great community support. We get great school support no matter where we go, but especially at home. And, the parents and community tailgating before the game, the victory bell after the game. We've had opposing coaches come in and tell us when they're leaving after a tough loss, they're leaving and they're seeing our student body and our band and our community at the victory bell. Just what a special thing it is for them to witness.
I think it's really, you always say the C on their chest, right?
Yeah,
when we talk about that, how long has that been there? Because usually you're talking about helmets and things of that nature.
I know when I took over, that was one thing that we put on the chest, on their jersey, but it might have been there beforehand too. I'm not too sure, but it's something that we latched on to. Matter of fact, it was the current superintendent at Boardman Schools, Tim Saxton, and I. And Tim was our defensive coordinator for my first year there before he went over to Boardman as a principal. And, we talked about that. And that C on the chest represents not just the football team. It represents the school, the community, and any alumni, no matter where they're at in the world. When we take the field, we really believe we take all those people with us.
And what's crazy is I think that goes all the way down through like the little Cardinals and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Speaking of the foundational aspect, I mean, you told me the numbers, 8th grade, freshman, big numbers.
Classes. And again, you're a closed enrollment school.
Yeah.
The area population has dwindled.
Yeah.
We have lost people. When I first got here, 20 some years ago, we had over 1,000 students in our school, grades 9 through 12. Now we're down into the 750s.
Wow.
But that's like everybody else too.
Yeah.
But you have some large classes and you've got some small classes. It's just a matter of, the cycle. That's
the
all.
Waves, right?
Yeah, it is. And, right now we've got a decent sized senior class with about 18 and, our sophomores and juniors are a little bit less, but, our freshman class has 28, our 8th grade class has 38. So those numbers are there, which excites us that people are still excited to play Canfield football.
And this is everywhere. This isn't just Canfield. How do you keep those 8th grade freshmen excited, especially with limited playing time? Because a lot of teams don't have freshmen and even JV anymore. How do you keep them excited?
Well, again, hopefully they're having a good time practice.
Right.
And that's the one thing we talked to about our junior high guys and our freshman guys. You want to win, absolutely. You put a lot of time in, you want to win. But the number one goal there is to make sure everybody plays, make sure that they are learning the fundamentals of the game. And, I believe our junior high coaches and our freshman coaches do a great job of implementing our program at all levels, that when you're a 7th grade football player, by the end of the year, you're going to know ABC, and then 8th grade, D, E, and F, and then so forth and so forth. And, by the time they get to us, they've got the basics down to where we just need maybe a week to review, and then we're able to move on, with what we believe in.
Awesome. All right. You ready for it? You've been dodging these questions. You've been so good, like professional. You didn't have a favorite song. You didn't have, so this one I had to come. Everybody is directed towards this question, and this question is directed towards you. All right. You've got a reservation for 6 at dinner. Yeah. You can have you and 5 other people, anybody.
Oh my gosh.
Who is it and why? It can be celebrity. It can be anybody living, past, whoever.
Nah. You go family.
Oh,
my dad.
Yep.
I'd love to sit down with my dad and have another conversation with him. My mom and my 3 daughters.
That is awesome. How did you skirt out of that one? I had it pegged.
It's truth.
I love it. All right, if you had a table full of celebrities, I'm gonna swerve you now. Who would it be and why?
Table full of celebrities.
Well, coaches, celebrities, whatever.
Oh my God.
Is Saban at the table?
No.
Okay.
I like Nick Saban. I respect what he does. No. I guess being a history guy, I'd love to talk to Abraham Lincoln.
Really?
And FDR. Okay.
I see where this is going. I like it.
I'm just a history guy. And
what would you ask Abe?
What do I say? Abe is they wrote a book about him, where his cabinet were all of his opposition. When he became president, he grabbed people that ran against him, that didn't believe in what he was doing, and he put his cabinet together. And by the end of it, they all believed in him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So overcoming the adversity to bringing people that don't believe in you. Mm-hmm. Incredible. And what would you ask him?
What would I ask him? My goodness, how'd you teach yourself to read? He had a tough upbringing. And
he taught himself to read?
Taught himself to read. Went to law school. Didn't have a formal education. And worked on the dad's farm or whatever they did. And, had a tough upbringing. And just want to maybe pick his brain about, how did you navigate your young childhood with all the circumstances that were against you.
Incredible. All right, you win. You got me this time. Nice play, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Good luck against Dover. We appreciate you as always.
DJ. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back after a word from our great sponsors.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists.
Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats.
Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are two of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor. Come play like a pro on these award-winning Donald Ross-designed courses. Enjoy a round with your kids and unwind with your favorite food and drinks in the grill room. For championship golf, look no further than your backyard. Mill Creek Golf Course.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live for the Canfield Cardinal Player Profile, live from Coca's Pizza, DJ Yoakley. And at this time, the senior Andrew Hall comes in defensive back and special teamer. Before Coach left into the sunset, right, he turns around and I asked him, I need to know something about you and Vince. And he says, Andrew is the best teammate you can have. How does that, I mean, you've probably never heard that before.
No,
How did that make you feel?
That made me feel warm inside.
Love it. I mean, when a coach that is so just honored, right, a Hall of Famer, easily, says that you're one of the best teammates that you can have. I mean, that's got to make you feel some kind of way. Talk about why he said that you were the best teammate.
I mean, like you said earlier, week one, obviously, I was a starter. Things didn't go the way I wanted to, and then every day I came to practice regardless of where I was on the depth chart. I was always trying to fight my way back, obviously, to first string, and I never complained. I always came to practice. So
how hard is that? I mean, that's, as a senior, it's your year, right? It's your year. There's a way that you envision it going, and when you get knocked down the depth chart a little bit and adversity kind of stands in the way of your dreams, what do you have to do yourself and to yourself to motivate you to get back on the horse and ride?
Well, Coach Paff says all the time, you're only one play away from getting on the field if you're a second string. So I always had that in the back of my mind, always be ready to come in and play. What
kind of things do you do? I mean, obviously that's a mentality that maybe football got you there or helped you get, but who helped you get that mentality? Maybe from your home or in the community?
Honestly, I think it's my teammates that are around me. I think they really helped me have that mindset.
I mean, when you get knocked down on the depth chart, that's got to be tough, right?
Yeah.
You got to swallow that ego a little bit. That's pride. What's your boys? I mean, we talk about brotherhood, right? That's the name of the game this year. What'd your guys say?
Honestly, I can't.
Was it like stick with it or hey, get back out there, get better? Like what things did they were you told? Hey, I've got to get better here so I can get back on that field because that's where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I always, I knew where I had to improve, and every day I'd go to practice and try to improve right where.
So I asked you what you were in special teams, and you just kind of said, "Okay, I'm kickoff return, punt return." So like, you're that guy that's always on the field, but you're mad because you're not always on the field.
Yeah.
First off, in special teams, you have to be borderline crazy. I know that for a fact. So do you have because you're like a low key dude. Like you sat down, you're just very low key. Do you have a switch that you flip like when you go on that field when you put that C on?
Yeah, a lot of clearly I'm not on the field right now, but a lot of my teammates think I'm crazy. I don't.
How so? Vince is he's nodding.
Because sometimes when I flip the switch, it doesn't turn off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, it goes.
So give me an example of you being crazy. He's got one. That face tells you he's got one. He's got a story. If I don't get it from you, I'll get it from Vince. So
yeah, I don't think I have any examples that I can give.
Like, are you the motivational type? Are you like the talking type? Are you trash talker? What is it?
I like to talk on the field.
Do you?
A lot? Yeah, I talk.
You a big hitter?
I try.
Yeah.
I try to lay the boom down.
All right, let's talk about this season for you guys. When you look at a 2-3 record, it's not exactly where you thought you'd be, right? We talked about that with Coach Pav. But when you look in the mirror, are you able to accomplish the things so far that you want to accomplish, or how much more do you have to give, and where do you see this team going the second half of the year?
I think if we keep on improving every week, I think we can easily win every game on our schedule. I don't think there's a team we can't be on our schedule, and and you know, that's basically it.
Do you have a situation where other people have either fallen down the depth chart, gotten injured, things of that nature, and you are the guy that's telling them to keep their chin up?
There's one person in mind. I'm not gonna say their
Sure.
name, but yeah, there is one person in
Can you
mind.
give us kind of the outlier of the story for it?
Basically, he always thought he should be the starter, obviously.
Yeah.
And just talking to him every day, being in the same position as him, just motivating him to keep playing every day. And he actually, I believe he started last week.
No kidding.
I think so.
So, do you learn anything about yourself through moments like that of leadership?
I'm not too sure. I don't know.
Do you see yourself as a leader?
No,
No.
I don't.
Okay, but
don't.
Vince is he's nodding his head. Yeah. What kind of leader do you think you are? I mean, you flip that switch, you get people hyped. What kind of leader do you want to be, and what kind of leader do you think you are?
I want people to look at me as a person who's just goes out on the field and just I just want people to look at me as a player who's good,
Who's giving it his all?
Yeah, exactly.
I can appreciate
100%
that.
effort.
I love that. All right, let's take it off the field. What things do you ultimately want to do when you graduate high school?
I want to go to college, probably YSU.
Okay.
And then I want to be a teacher.
You're gonna be a teacher? Any specific education style? Like you want to do elementary, middle school, high school?
Like high school.
Yeah.
I want to do.
What do you want to teach?
English.
English.
Yeah.
What's your English grade right now?
I'm not in English right now.
Okay. What were your English grades?
I mean,
that's never good.
They're not the best, but that's just something I want to teach.
Why English?
It seems fun.
Probably too much fun for you if you can't name the grades, right?
Yeah.
Who's a teacher at Canfield, K through 12, that has made a huge impact on you?
My 10th grade English teacher, Miss Stillwagon.
Is that why you wanting to teach English?
Yeah, she's part of the reason.
I love it. What was it about Miss Stillwagon? I'm sorry.
It is Mrs. Stillwagon.
Mrs.
Sorry,
Okay.
Yeah, and she was just always fun to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything she did to help make the educational process a little bit more pleasant? You get to high school, it's tough. People don't realize how tough high school is to keep your attention, from that standpoint. What did Mrs. Stillwagon do to impress you?
I can't think of anything specific. It's been a while. But I just remember always enjoying, never like sighing that I had to go to the class or anything.
Yeah.
Most classes, especially English, you don't want you don't want to go there.
Oh man, I got so many better things or other things I can be doing right now. I got you. And you want to be a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
What do you? I mean, usually teachers, especially teachers that play sports, previously want to coach. Is that something you can see yourself doing?
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in coaching, like lacrosse or something.
I was gonna say you play lacrosse as well. So lacrosse and football. Now you're gonna have to help me with this one because I'm learning lacrosse, but I'm nowhere near where I need to be. Lacrosse and football are similar how, and they're different how?
I think the physicality is very similar, I think. But the pace of lacrosse is so much faster. There's no breaks in between every play. You're just always going.
It's like football and soccer and hockey. I know that fly keeps going around. Football, soccer, and hockey in one, right?
Basically.
It's kind of wild. So what position do you play in lacrosse?
I'm a midfielder.
Okay, so are you the scorer?
I mean, I can score, yeah.
Kind of defense, offense. I mean, you're kind of a specialist.
Yeah, I can do everything.
Okay, well that works. And you guys are pretty good at lacrosse, I hear.
Yeah, we're getting better every year.
I love it. Let's talk about family life. I mean, who's in your family that's super important to you and made you the guy you are today?
My mom, my dad, my older sister. I have a lot of siblings, but my most impactful one is definitely my older sister.
Where are you on the depth chart there for siblings? Are you second oldest?
Well, no, I'm actually.
You're not the baby, are you?
No.
Okay.
I have 3 older siblings.
3 older siblings. Okay.
And then I have 7 younger siblings.
So you have 11 total?
Yeah,
there's 11 of you total.
Yeah, 11 of us.
That's incredible, man. That's awesome.
I don't live with them all, but yeah, they're all there.
That's awesome. So what is it about your older sister that stands out to you?
She's always there. If I need to talk to someone, she's always there. I don't live with her anymore. She moved away, but if there's anything I ever need to talk about, she's always there. And if I ever need help.
That's awesome. Where do you get your work ethic from?
My work ethic? Probably my dad.
Seems like you got a great one, man. When coach is talking on, like, literally he's hammering down a pepperoni roll and he's telling you you're the best teammate anybody could have. That is the highest compliment. That is the Mount Rushmore of. I could see you smiling, man. And you didn't even have words. You just said thanks, coach. That's amazing.
Speechless.
So from that standpoint, your work ethic, you get it from dad. What pieces and traits of your folks do you want to take with you along this road?
Definitely not my dad's looks.
Oh gosh, that works. That works.
Let me think.
We got to definitely not. So that's big.
Yeah.
What's your dad do?
He works for an aviation company.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not sure exactly.
It's not an English teacher, but I guess it's cool enough in its own, right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Very cool. Andrew, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
you.
Best of luck on Friday night against Dover. You're welcome here anytime. We'll be back with Vince Luce right after this on your Sports Network.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another player profile brought to you by Coca's Pizza. Thanks to Coca's and Steve Coca, the whole staff here, making sure that we're fed every Wednesday night. Make sure you are coming to any participating Coca's Pizza and take advantage of their awesome deals. And listen, the pepperoni rolls, they are legit. Love them. And have you ever had the pierogi pizza?
No.
Get yourself a pierogi pizza, Vince. Vince Luce joins us here, the senior for Canfield. And Vince, when you look at it, you're in a boot right now, right? Not where you want to be. Ultimately, life kind of threw you a curveball, but you have admirably been able to fight through this, and you've been supporting your teammates through the entire time. What has this process been like for you your senior year?
Well, I mean, obviously I look back at it. You tell me at the beginning of the season, hey, you're going to be able to play first game and then you're out for X amount of weeks. I probably would have called you crazy for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to believe it, but I mean, it's kind of, a blessing in disguise because during the summer and then kind of in the off season, I would think about like, hey, maybe this would be it. Maybe this would be my, final season playing football. And then this time being away from it just tells me more that I'm not ready to give this sport up yet. Gonna go play, in college, and I'm thankful for that. And overall, just I get to grow as a person, as myself. I get to focus on my schooling a little more. So,
Yes. I mean, what's crazy about all of this is you are what, 17, 18?
17.
17. And that is a man's stance on adversity, right? Because it's easy to quit. It's easy to second guess yourself. And when push comes to shove, here you are thinking, maybe you know what? I've had enough of football. But that's when the love kicks in. That's when the heart finds, absence makes the heart grow fonder. You love football. What do you want to do when you come back? Ultimately, I mean, and coach, I heard him talking to you over there. We're going to make sure everything's right. Make sure you're strong. Make sure you're healthy. You look strong. You look healthy. If a couple things go right, you're playing by the end of the season, but you got to make sure everything's right because there's a lot of folks that are looking at you and saying, this could be our future offensive, defensive lineman that is the face of our program. How does that make you feel?
It's great. It's great to, be wanted by a program to go, spend my next 4 to 5 years with.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my work's not done here. I've been thinking about this season, ever since I was a little water boy with them, X amount, however long ago with Scotty. But my work's not done. I tell my guys every week that I'm going to be back at some point. I'm going to be back, and I'm going to give whatever I have for however long we have left together, because at the end of the day, this is my last ride with all these guys that I've grown up playing with.
How has your role changed? I mean, you've started as a water boy, like you just said.
Yeah.
You're an elite offensive, defensive lineman, and then you go on the IL-ish, if there is one, and then now you're like a motivator, right?
Yeah.
From what I've heard is you're constantly keeping guys up. I saw the way you interacted with Andrew, and I'm really proud of that, because a young man who lost his spot and trying to regain it, and first thing you did is you gave him a hug and you said, you got this back. You got this. You did a good job. Stuff like that. How has your role changed over the last 5-6 weeks?
Well, obviously, during the summer, I was a guy that, kids would ask questions with. They'd come up, ask me like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I would help them, as much as I can, because, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be here forever. So that's looking at the future of the program. After I got hurt, it was the same thing. I came in that Monday to talk to the guys. I hung out at practice with them, was out. I came to the Mansfield game, came with my parents. That was, I think either that one or the Poland game was the hardest one for me, because just sitting there watching a close game, playing the what if game, how could I have, helped my team? But my role has changed because I've turned into more, a guy that picks guys up. I coach them up. I coach up the young guys, guys like, Gage Watson, DJ Erickson, Zach Tucker, younger guys that, when I'm gone, I want them to be able to look back. I want them to be able to call me and be like, hey, how do I do this? Hey, how do I do that? How do I lead and set an example for the younger guys like I'm trying to do right now?
How does that change the way you're going to be when you get back on the field?
It's not going to change at all. I'm still, I'm the only thing that's going to change is, I'm going to be out of a boot and a cleat, shoulder pads on, playing on Friday nights. But when I get back, it won't be any different from how I am now. I'm still going to pick up guys. Obviously, I'm going to work on myself, try to get myself, back to how I was in the summer in week 1. But I'm still going to be there for the guys, win, lose, tie, whatever we're destined to do. It's not going to change at all.
Vince, when you walk into a room, you own it, right? You walk in a room and people go, oh my Lanta, right? I did. You walk right through that door and I thought, oh my gosh, you can have all the pizza rolls. But you're a gentle human being. You genuinely care about people. But I have a feeling that changes over when you get between the lines and you get, put that C on your chest. Where do you have to go mentally to get where you need to go to do what you have to do on a Friday night?
I don't have to go far. It's just the passion that I have for the game. I've been playing this game for, I think, about 11, 12 years now, ever since I was little. I've grown up with it. It's made me who I am. So to be able to go out, play for all the guys that before me, go play for the guys that, the little kids that, give us high fives when we're running out into the tunnel. And just, because I can remember when I was younger looking up to guys like, Richie Hofus, Michael Mininock, guys like that, Andrew Morchak, one of our offensive line coaches, and being like, I want to be that dude, that dude that, they can run behind, that dude that when they need a yard, they put it behind me and I can go play. I want to set an example for those kids. So when those kids grow up, they don't want to go anywhere else. They don't want to go to any private school, any other school in the area. They want to come to Canfield and be that guy and be, that game changer for them.
That's crazy that you were the guy that had your hand extended, the water boy, all that stuff, and you're watching, and now you are that guy. What does that mean to you? Like, do you ever put it in context of like when you're running out and you're shaking those hands of those guys that are the next generation of Cardinals? What you've accomplished?
It means a lot to me because when I can remember when I was little and I talked to younger kids, and when I was younger, I talked to the senior guys. I'd come to the football camps and talk to those guys and be able to be coached up by those guys. I'd go home and talk to my parents about it for months and months on end, and I try to recreate that kind of leadership with my teams when I was younger. So just to be able to take 5 minutes, talk to the younger kids, have them come up to me, ask how I'm feeling, ask how my foot's doing. It means everything to me.
And I know Canfield means a heck of a lot to you, man. When you put that C on, how much does that mean to you?
Like I said, it means the world to me. There's no other place I'd rather be in this world. This Canfield's my home. Canfield will forever be my home.
All right. Well, not forever, because you got some things you got to do at the end. Obviously, like you said, still got some business to tend to here. Yep. But when you get that piece of paper that says, "Hey, you checked all the boxes here at Canfield High," what are your career aspirations? Where do you want to go? I mean, do you have any schools that you're looking at right now? You're like, I like this.
I have, there's a couple places, that I'm narrowing it down to. My decision probably be coming here soon, but it's just wherever feels like home to me.
Yeah.
Whatever school wants me there, they'll treat me right, and I'll get a great education, because at the end of the day, this isn't forever. I got to think long term.
Wow, you are a bright young man. What is that education you're looking to achieve?
Right now, I'm looking at either undecided or going to interdisciplinary, which is kind of a mix of everything else. Like you do a couple things here and there, and then you would go into a major. But I always say that if I wasn't playing football, I wasn't as good as I am at football. I'd be going to MCCTC to work on cars.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you work on cars like right now?
I not as much as I would like to, because I'm tied up here, and then once winter comes, I'm tied up in the wrestling, and then spring comes and I'm working out. I'm going on spring ball visits, and I'm working out with my trainers and trying to get right for the upcoming season.
Just saying, we have a wrestling division this year on YSN, so you might have a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so perfect question. I've heard this up and down. Wrestlers are great football players and vice versa. Tell me why.
Just the aspect of, going out and getting what you want, that fight, because I know me personally, I'm my Coach Shaw. He cranks the room up to, and it can vary anywhere between 85 and 90s in that room, and you gotta go practice through it. And then there's been times where I'm just sitting there, I'm asking myself, like, what am I doing here? But at the end of the day, there's always going to be a job that's going to be finished. There's always going to be something that you got to get through. And when that day comes for me, I'll think back to my high school days of getting through 90-degree heat in football, getting through this with my foot, getting through wrestling season, and I'll be able to get through that as best as I can.
The adversity, man. It's always going to be there. It's always going to stand in your way. Who has taught you in your family, in your circle, to get through that adversity?
Really, it's been my whole family. My mom, my dad, my sister, grandpa, my uncles, my aunts. Really, I couldn't be happier with the family that I have. I love all of them very deeply. They keep me who I am. They keep me grounded. Sometimes my dad likes to say, when I get too full of myself, he has to grab me back, bring me back to earth. But in all honesty, I get everything how I am is from my family, and I couldn't be happier with them.
Do you ever have the chance or the opportunity when you're playing on a Friday night to turn around and see that section of red, black, and white that is your family and take it in. And how much does that mean to you?
I can't put it into words, really. I remember week 1 against West Branch. I was in tears right after the national anthem. I look up, I see my mom, I see my dad, my grandfather, my uncle, my sister. Well, no, my sister was in the student section, but I see all my family, and then I see my family friends surrounding them, and I thank the good Lord that He blessed me with such an amazing family.
I can see you're getting emotional about it
Yeah.
right now, dude. Okay, so let's lighten this up a little bit. If you could do anything, not fixing cars, have a career, what would it be and why? And you could do anything. It doesn't you can have a different skill set, different body type, whatever.
Professional golfer.
Do you like golf?
I like the golf. I'm just not very good at golf.
Okay.
I'm terrible at golf.
Favorite club in the bag?
Driver.
Always the driver.
Yeah.
Oh, you just let loose, don't you?
Yeah, because I can just, take all my frustration out from the previous hole out on the next hole, and then my problem usually starts all over again.
Can you putt?
Yeah.
You can putt.
I'm pretty good at putting.
Short game's kind of the weakness there?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. What is, if you had $1 million right now and you had to spend it on one thing, what would it be and why? No change. You got no change.
I can't. I can't put in like stocks or anything.
No, you can't invest it. Why? You guys are so much smarter than our generation. That's the second time I've heard it this week.
I don't know. Probably go back to the cars thing. I'd go build myself a garage and buy however many cars I can, that are my dream cars, and just be happy with that.
What stock would you invest in?
I don't know,
Mr. Investor.
I'm not. I don't really do that, but I mean that would be I have
a smart thing to do.
I have friends that do it, and it's the smart thing to do.
College football, pro football.
See, I'm not going to answer it like trade school, like Hugo did. I'm gonna go definitely college football, because pro football, you see guys, sit out for the dumbest reasons, contract dispute, stuff like that. College football, you play for a school, you play for your brothers. Doesn't matter, I've talked to dudes that have played with, broken legs, separated shoulders, all that.
Yeah.
You don't see that at the pro level. You see guys, sit out for migraines
with a hangnail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Do you have a favorite pro football team?
Steelers.
Yes.
Absolutely Steelers.
Monday was sweet, man.
Oh, yeah. Everything
not pretty, but it was sweet.
Yeah, it was Russell, and I was over my uncle's. He's a big Browns Michigan fan. So I'm sitting there, and he has a garage back there. It's really cool. And sitting there, and I jaw back and forth with him. We're talking, and it was a good time.
I'm gonna guess you're an Ohio State guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ohio State. If you could ever sit on a D1 field, right, and it's feasible. I heard it through the grapevine. Where would you want to? What would be the coolest stadium to step out onto, and why?
If you would have asked me last year, I probably would have said Ohio State. But it's a mix right now. Probably either Syracuse, with the dome, or a night game at West Virginia.
Oh, that's dangerous down there in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And then finally, shout out to your folks. I mean, how much do they mean to you from a standpoint of making you the young man you are today? Impressive young man, by the way.
They mean everything to me. I'm sure. I'm gonna go home, get a breakdown from my dad about the looks that I've given, because I have a tendency to look away when I talk.
That's
but,
okay.
They mean everything to me. My entire family, they mean the world to me, and I wouldn't trade them for anything else.
Dude, you did awesome. It is such an honor and a privilege to be able to be here with you and talk about your life and the impact that you've had on the Canfield community, not just the program. And I wish you nothing but the best, man. Can't wait. I'm rooting like hell to see you out there.
Thank you.
Vince Luce, DJ Oakley, that's going to do it for the Player Profile edition and this edition of the Canfield Cardinals Show. Tune in every Wednesday, 7 o'clock, right here on your sports network. We'll see you next time.